Okay, so I've been trying to broadcast this live, and since I'm having a problem with broadcasting live, I'm going to do this via video and I'll upload it. So this is Apostle Tracy, and this is a moment of truth. Excuse me. This is a moment of truth. And yesterday, I made mention of covenant and how it gives you confidence when you feel your back is against the wall. And that's why I want to highlight wisdom's covenant with the Lord God to give you confidence as you follow wisdom's voice. So when we think about covenant, a covenant reflects a commitment, a guarantee, and an agreement. And we can see an agreement between God and wisdom in the book of Proverbs. So I want to look at Proverbs, the 8th chapter. We've been in the 8th chapter and we're continuing there, but we're looking at verses 20 through 21. And wisdom is talking here, and she says, I lead in the way of righteousness, and that is the way that is right. So she says, I lead in the way of righteousness in the midst of the paths of justice. That's an important phrase right there. But she leads in the midst of the paths of justice, that I may cause those who love me to inherit wealth, that I might fill their treasuries. So here we look at the purpose of wisdom, which is to lead you in paths that are right, paths that are just, and paths that are fair. And she promises an expected outcome of inheriting wealth and making our treasuries full. And so we can rely on her to do just that. Because that is the way, the path that she is on. And she's playing the long game, so you have to stick with her. But the Lord backs the promise that wisdom makes. And we see this in Proverbs, the 2nd chapter, verses 6, the first part of verse 6 and verses 7 through 9. In what is said, it actually reveals that there is an agreement, a guarantee that the Lord Jehovah is making with wisdom. So the 6th verse of the 2nd chapter of Proverbs says, for the Lord Jehovah gives wisdom. And then going down to verse 7, it says, he stores sound wisdom for the upright, and they are those who will go in the way that is right. And he is a shield to those who walk uprightly. So those that walk in integrity, he is a shield. And here's this phrase that I spoke of earlier in verse 8. It says, he guards the paths of justice and preserves the way of his saints. So he guards the paths of justice. And we were reading that wisdom said that she leads in the midst of the paths of justice. So basically, Jehovah is security on the path. And so there's an agreement between wisdom and Jehovah. And so he's backing what it is, the promise that she gives for the expected outcome. He's right there to guard that way so that your end result or your outcome is as she said. So God is a shield and a guard on the path of justice. And so in following the words of wisdom, we are preserved. Because it said that right there in verse 8, it said he guards the path of justice and he preserves the way of his saints. So you can be assured that you're preserved in following the ways of wisdom. So that's agreement, that's a guarantee, and that's a covenant with wisdom. So, sometimes we think we missed opportunities because we didn't jump when it came up. And we wonder if we decided foolishly. But if you use wisdom to assess whether that thing was right for you, then you can be confident that you made the right decision and that you were guarded in that decision. So everything that is good is not necessarily God's direction for you. And also, if you're looking at people and it looks like people who have gained through misrepresentation is doing well, and you're looking at them like, how come they're doing so well? Again, wisdom already has talked about this, and she said that those who walk with integrity are the ones that walk securely, but that those who pervert their way will become exposed. And that's Proverbs 10 and 9. So again, the reason why wisdom is able to say this is because she, by nature, is predictive. And so she knows the end of the thing. So when she says, follow this way, and this is going to be in, and it's a promise to your benefit, you can believe that. And if she says if you're not walking in her way, there's a particular outcome, you can be sure that that outcome also is known by wisdom. So this has been a moment of truth. You can join us, Grace and Power Ministries, on Sundays for interactive worship at 1 o'clock. You can join us on Wednesdays for Bible study at 6:30. We're in Maryville, Indiana. The address is 7898 Taft Street in Maryville, Indiana. So you can join us there. If you want more details about our ministry, you can you can visit our website at graceempowerministries.org. So thank you for sharing this moment with me. Until next time, have an awesome day.